We have Gregory. He was in the first half, and he was tricked, and Lord Forrester was Lord of Ironrath and a bannerman of House Stark. And House Stark, you can know, is in the actual series in Stark family. As a youth, the famous man Squire. Lady joked that he gladly lost the match all over again. Gregory, daughter of Southern Targaryen loyalists before Robert Baratheon seized the Iron Throne. Greg until he was slain at the Twins, and that was in the beginning. Lady Alyssa Forrester, you saw her. She just died just recently. Lady Forrester was born in House Branfield, a minor southern house that was destroyed when the Targaryen dynasty fell. She had been married to Gregor for many years when Robert's rebellion signaled her family's demise. Yet she nevertheless felt conflicted between her father's loyalties and her husband's. In time, Alyssa came to feel that Ironrath was her true home, and she embraced her role as the Forrester monarchy. Lady Forrester was slain by Harrys of House Whitehill during the Battle of Ironrath. That was the last chapter in which Lady Alyssa was trying to save her son, and obviously she was then killed. And we know Roderick, he's the majority of the game. If you keep him alive, he's there until the end. So Roderick Forrester, Lord of Ironrath, was trained from an early age to shoulder the burdens of leadership. In truth, he was built for the role, strong, charismatic, and formidable on the battlefield. When Robert Stark, or Robb Stark, which you know I said again is from the series, called his banners to war, Lord Forrester asked Roderick to stay behind and protect Ironrath, but Roderick would have none of it. Instead, he rode off at his father's side and led the Forrester cavalry and such valor that his name came to be feared among the wraths of Lannister soldiers. Despite sustaining crippling injuries at the Twins, he returned to lead his house in their struggle for survival. He suffered grievous wounds in the Battle of Ironrath and fled the field with the help of his sentinel. Roderick's fate remains unknown, and it remains unknown because this damn game creator didn't create the second one. Yeah, man, we should write to them and ask them, where the heck is the next Game of Thrones continuation for this game? Well, we know Ash. We didn't see Ash much, but you could tell he was a fearsome fighter, and we made a choice to kill him, or sacrifice him anyways, in the hall. So Ash had always been a rebellious youth, brawled in taverns, sleeping with whores, and finding his way to raise his family's heirs. But his life took a dark turn when, at age 17, he fell in love with Gwen Whitehill, the eldest daughter of his father's bitter rival. Bloodshed ensued, and Lord Forrester faced a grim choice: go to war and exile Asher across the narrow sea. See there, now you know why Asher was exiled. He chose the latter. Asher eventually returned to Westeros to help his family, but was killed within hours of making landfall, which kind of sucks. We could have made him survive, or could have made him dead. I don't know. The majority of the people who played this game killed Asher, sacrificed him, so that Roderick could live on and lead the war. Yep, here we go. So Mary Forrester, the eldest daughter, Lady Forrester, wanting her eldest daughter to learn the ways of the Southern court, arranged for Myra to serve as a handmaiden to Margaery Tyrell. To Myra's great surprise, she enjoyed attending on Marjorie at Highgarden and followed her to King's Landing with enthusiasm. As her influence grew, however, she made dangerous enemies. Her scheming was the seed of her own demise. Myra was eventually charged with conspiring against the crown, In a deal to save her head, she sold her name and family honor, choosing to marry her rival, Lord Morgan. Now, we don't know what happened there. We just know that, we made a decision to marry to stay alive. And yeah, that would be an interesting story to see what goes on or Myra. Ethan Forrester, this boy was killed too fast, and didn't matter what you did in season 2, episode 2, there was no way to save him. I tried. Whereas his older brothers were natural warriors, Ethan always found himself drawn to pursuits of the mind, particularly music and books. He also bore a great love for the towering trees of Ironrath, a love he shared with his twin sister, Talia. Ethan was just a boy when House Forrester joined the War of the Five Kings, but by war's end, he had been thrust into a role he was unprepared for. Sadly, his lordship did not last long. Ethan was murdered in cold blood by Ramsay Snow, the bastard son of Roose Bolton. Now, Roose Bolton exists in the real Game of Thrones series, and you see him, I think, in season 2. He comes around, and yeah, he turns to be a different guy after the Boltons. Talia, well, we could tell she's the young sister. I'm not going to read her things. She didn't die and nothing happened to her. Ryan Forrester, we know he was the kid that was kidnapped, and he was the brother of the Forrester family, the youngest, and yeah, we know what happened to him. He got away. There's currently no whereabouts. His whereabouts are unknown. Ooh, sorry guys. Gertottle, what a name. Anyway, he now defends the grove against the frequent excursions of the dead. And we know about his story too, because he's the beginning to the end. So in this Game of Thrones series, he's at the beginning, and he survives the whole series all the way to the end. So we know he's not dead. Duncan was the Castellan of the Ironrath. As a boy, Duncan showed such talent for managing his family, was fated to run more than fields and pigpen. In time, he struck up an unlikely friendship with Gregor Forrester, the heir to the House Forrester. The two grew close, and when Gregor became lord, he named Duncan his sentinel. So many eyebrows were raised, but Duncan proved himself worthy and has served the house well in the long years to come. The loyal service continued until the Battle of Ironrath. Duncan proved himself in combat, saving his lord's life and helping him to escape. Yeah, and we know that he didn't die, and somehow he escaped, and we don't know how. So Royland Gregor, Ironrath Master at Arms. So we know this guy. I called him the traitor, and it didn't make any difference if I saved Asher or not. Just so you know, spoiler alert. Whether you killed this guy or you killed this guy, whether you chose him as a sentinel or you chose him as a sentinel, it made no difference. Okay, just so you know. Spoiler alert again. Anyways, King Robert awarded royal knighthood, and Lord Forrester asked him to serve as Ironrath's Master at Arms. Despite his accomplishments in battles, Sir Roland's true legacy is one of betrayal, for he turned against the house to aid the Whitehills. When Roderick discovered his treachery, the Forrester Lord meted him out only to punish him fit for his crime and beheaded. Of course, we didn't behead it. We stabbed him through the heart, and that was it. Now, if we kept him alive, he would tell us the truth of what was going on, but it made no difference because either of the brothers still would have met their demise where Asher was killed. And this guy is a master of Ironrath, so he is the maestri, and what he does is maestri to Ironrath. So he helps carve everything, and you don't see him around. And yeah, he served the Forrester with pride until his death at the Battle of the Ironrath. So he died, and that's too bad. Malcolm, Lady Forrester brother, he's still with Daenerys Targaryen. So I wish they would continue so we can see what happens to him. We know what Ironrath is, as the ancient seat of house for the Forresters, and I believe that is it. The choices are here that we made, and it goes by the series, and of course that's just the settings. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this short one. This is just about the cast of Game of Thrones. And let me just get to the beginning and get out of here. Yep, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a short one, like I said, it's just the cast of Game of Thrones in the game. You don't need to see the bad guys. This is about the Forresters and their story connected to the Starks. Alright, kids, you have a wonderful day, and I hope you enjoyed this. And, if you liked it, hit that like button.